down to Juneau 2 years in a row, and I found no one who's ever implemented it and never authorized the court to do anything about it. Now, I recognize by natural law, law of necessity, same principles I bring, that this court affirmed certain individual rights because the legislature failed the people. And our Constitution prohibits me to write 1,000 million initiatives to try to implement sections that I could, but it's very costly and timely. But individual privacy, if someone has a medical right to privacy, what about the preborn child? There's a rape. Well, by common law, he used to be killed for rape, the rapist. Why kill the baby? It wasn't the baby's fault. My wife and I are trying to start an international orphanage. We just don't want to start one in a civil body politics. This is lawful to kill the very children that are unwanted. We want this state to uphold natural law. Two things. I want this court to rule from this bench and agree with natural law, as you swore an oath to, that supersedes man's law, and overturn any statute that binds us. Then further on, let the people who put you in office choose what laws they want to live under. There's only 5 things that this initiative cannot be used for, and there was nothing that said it was clearly unconstitutional. In fact, the Supreme Court said if personhood could be established, the whole case falls. I've got personhood right here, natural personhood. And if this court denies me from doing this, then I can't even effectively take it before the Supreme Court to Roe versus Wade. Antonin Scalia said recently, overturn Roe versus Wade. If this court denies the nexus, then how is somebody ever supposed to overturn this in a peaceful fashion, which is the only way to do it in civilized society? I would quit my claim and quit my citizenship if indefinitely this civil body politic says it's lawful to take children's lives, even on the books today in the statutes. If a mother consents to the death or injury of the child, it's completely valid. If she does not consent, drunk driver hit somebody. I used to be a volunteer firefighter through the Central Matsup Fire Department. I serve my people. If a drunk driver hits them, it's a double manslaughter. Look at the injustice. It's supposed to be fair balances. It's either the baby is alive or it's not. It can't be both or 50%. We had that problem with our own federal Constitution. 3/5 of man are black people. They couldn't even get the math right. They got the Declaration of Independence right, but they couldn't. I'm not stating that everyone's perfect, but we should strive to be more perfect. And I'm helping this court to do that. I'm asking the initiative to be affirmed, and let me try to get 30,000 signatures and see what the people want, and let them choose what laws to live under. Last thing about the lieutenant governor. That man said he knows abortion is murder, told me many times publicly in the presence of my wife. He says, I want you to overturn it. He told me, I want you to win the case. I want you to beat this. I said, well, ask your attorneys to step down, stand for yourself. He goes, I can't do that. I said, why? Oh, I can't. No explanation. You have a public servant who can't even be consistent in his own moral judgment about what is right and wrong, and he knows this. The state statute said no lawyer can represent a client against his wishes, and that's exactly what happened. That was filed in the court record, and it was denied. I asked this court, where's your oath of office? Please put it in the court record. I asked the Superior Court. I asked the state attorneys, please enter your license to practice law in addition to active bar membership required by Alaska statute. That wasn't done. I've asked for oral hearings. I've asked for face-to-face. I've tried to petition. I've gone down. I've done every single peaceful means, and the only thing in general that's happened is I finally got an oral hearing. And with all joy, after serving 8 years of my life, I got an oral hearing to tell the truth. 2 other things. This initiative stops tasers from being used for simple traffic infractions. I almost got my head blown off by a taser for a false charge. My brother, 14-year-old brother, almost got killed by a taser. It also helps people on life support. Somebody was taken into life support against their will, state hospital custody. They went to asphyxiation after choking in a state hospital in the dining room. And then on life support, the state wanted to pull the plug. Somebody filed a case, got it overturned for their wife, and they lived. They came out of a coma a month later. This initiative stops all of that. It says the state is bound to protect life. It has an obligation of record in addition to constitutional provisions. And to come to the close about this clearly unconstitutional issue, it just revolves around one thing. Each one of you have a heartbeat. If your mother didn't press you out of her womb, you wouldn't be able to say a word on this. Neither would I. All I'm asking is this court to affirm natural law, foundational principle, which is life. Life begins when the sperm meets the egg, it develops and it grows. There have been many surgeries that have been done inside the womb, cut through the belly, with the baby reaching out 4 or 5 months old, grabbing the doctor's hand. I'm asking the court to agree with truth and provide a fair scale. If it's lawful to kill a baby with the mother's consent, then why is it murder if the doctor does it without her consent? I'm asking for a fair, just balance, and then I can address it and resolve it. If there's consistency, then I can amend it. If there's inconsistency, it's impossible to deal with hypocrisy. I'm asking one thing: affirm the natural right to life, and in agreement with this, allow me to petition before the people an initiative to repeal any statutes to deny those natural rights that are firmly affirmed in the federal and the state constitution and the foundation of a peaceful civil body politic. That's all that I have. I am available for questions, and if there's nothing further that you need from me, I ask to be excused.
Thank you very much. Our thanks to both parties. As we do in all cases, we will take this matter under advisement and issue a written decision at a later time. And we will stand in recess at this time until our 11 o'clock argument.